It's to do with cultural values. So, yeah,
You want to phone a friend?
50-50.
Yeah, these are the words that everyone's gonna be uh, saying in you will be experiencing this. You'll be hearing these words: strategy, ethical. Those words are very important. Okay. Um, yeah, I think Margaret said thank you for the handout. You will have a handout. It is ethical that when you are trained, you need the literature for it. So, and I'm not just a coach, I lecture as well. At the end of the day, I know what is culture, the ethical, the moral standard guiding training and teaching and coaching. So very important. People learn differently. So, uh, right. That being said, um, I want to welcome you all again. So today I will start with the data governance components. Okay, if I may ask, anyone signing in from anywhere in this place apart from London? Wait, okay.
Yes, sir, from Yorkshire.
Yorkshire. Who is
Yeah,
speaking?
it's Margaret, sir.
Oh, Margaret, the one that is so brilliant.
No.
Can you tell Pastor to sign on, please? Yeah. Okay, now I want you to understand the components of data governance. And I don't know if everyone can see what I'm sharing over here. Can you see what I'm sharing? And everyone see what I'm.
Yes, sir, I can see, sir.
Good. Tony, if it's only you that can see.
No, I'm seeing it.
Yeah, if it's only you, please speak to me.
No, I'm
Okay, what can you see here?
People, is it?
People.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Margaret, thank you, Margaret. I think your reception is your Wi-Fi is kind of weak a little bit. Yeah, so this is people. Okay. Before now, yeah, I just you open I kind of said that data, the fact that data is the most valuable asset after people in an organization. So I ask question. I say, which one is the most valuable asset? It's actually people. Okay, before data. So the people will create a strategy, which is long-term plan. I said, these are components, and then right from the long-term plan, the plan you have, the program, you will have a process of the program. Okay, and every process has got a policy to run the process. And that policy, we have standard enshrined in them. Standards become a criteria to which the entire program will be based on in order to ensure best practice. So once the program is being done and have standard put together, you secure your standard, you secure your program. So when your program is secure, then before you can socialize it to other kind of forms of media, Facebook or wherever, or any other department or third party. Okay, because you have security. When you talk about security, authorized individual can only authorized individual can come in. So, and then you look at the community, you need to communicate it effectively to all concerned. Don't forget to know whether the standards are well followed. You need to have what is called metrics in measuring it. And that you have key performance indicators to measure what you have put together socializing. And from there, you will now understand that whether your program is running properly or not, or if it's not, then what will you do in operation from inbound to outbound or input to output? You require what is called evaluation to know whether it meets the best practice or standard or the value that you're creating. If it's not there, then you do evaluation, and that will be, you will have to look at from the input and how to follow every step by monitoring the entire steps. Okay, but that can only take place if it's driven by, technology. So those are all the components. So going through them, time constraint, people. The data governance professionals, data stewards, and other key business and IT staff are the backbone. Of course, you know that. Backbone of what? Of data governance. Backbone. So now you're here, you scale yourself up, trying to have more expertise to move to carry out what your job is, not only just to make money, but this expertise you're gathering, you'll be able to, carry out or add economic value to any enterprise organization that you might be employed. So people are very important. So when the advertisement saying that data governance needed or data entry officer or steward, data stewards needed, all these are needed, they are talking about people. So people are actually the backbone of every program of data governance. So what they do, they establish and develop the workflow system to ensure that the organization data governance requirements are absolutely accomplished. So organizations need to invest heavily on people like you. But right now, you are investing yourself. So that's why you can charge any company that's going to employ you. So companies invest in people in terms of training and education to ensure that these components provides the maximum amount of value that is expected by the organization. Don't forget, we're talking about value. I want to highlight it. This is very important. I lay emphasis on, I don't know whether I should internalize this. Very important. Always think about this. Because if you are facing an interview talking about the essence of it to create this value. Okay. So is that understood? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is that understood? Just know people are the backbone of everything. Okay. The company of it. All right. Moving forward.
Okay.
Moving forward is data strategy. Okay. This can play a vital role in the development and implementation roadmap. I just want to talk about roadmap. I want to highlight the roadmap. Okay, I probably internalize it. So, when you are employed, I want you to understand that irrespective of the field, whether brown or green, you will have roadmap. So in most cases, you're expected to have 30, 60, 40, 30, 60, 90 days of roadmap. Okay. So the first 30 days, you expect to have access and assess the existing, if there is at all. Otherwise, to have access into the database of the company. And I had an assessment whether something is wrong or in order to determine the gap that exists in their database. And on the 60 days is expected that we should have what is called establishment. You're trying to establish what's going on and how you can develop as well. And then 90 days is the expectation of saying that working towards maturity. So, but whichever may be the case, until you are in the field before you know how many days it will take you in each of those roadmaps. So those roadmap Be prepared as part of your program, my organization, and don't forget to inculcate this in the business goal or objectives. Very, very important right from the day one. So people often make mistake by saying that data governance is an IT department. It's never an IT department, and it's not from experience. So data governance is actually a thing of a business case. So always prepare your program, the program you have in the organization, inculcating into the business corporate goals. Right from there, then we'll see the key stakeholders, including the chief executive, will be able to see what you're doing properly and sell it to across the functional departments. That being said, building an enterprise data strategy, which of course it is a vital steps in data management journey, because however, many organizations fail to understand the need for a formal and documented data strategy. What do you think it should be the need for a formal and documented data strategy? Knowing fully well that strategy means long-term plan. Can anybody tell me the need to document it?
Is to be referred back to, it's like a guideline.
Thank you. It's like a guideline. You're following a guideline. I believe that's Margaret. Can never be.
Yes.
So it's a guideline. You
Referencing.
No, yeah, referencing. Yeah. Referencing. Because if you have a plan, if it's well documented, you can easily go and look at it. Or if anyone who is not there can always come and get hold of it, also look at it. So it's very important. There could be a question in an interview. Why do we need to have a strategy? Why do we need to have a strategy? So data strategy is one of the components. Okay? So it's actually an executive document which provides a high-level enterprise requirement for data and a strategy to ensure that these requirements are also met. So, well done. All right. So we also have data processing. This just involves, in the program you have, need to establish key data processes for data management, such as the policies. Common policy include data issue tracking and resolution. So if you want to process data in your program, data tracking is very important, and how to also resolve issues is very important, and also data quality monitoring, because as I said the other time, if you have a program, if you don't monitor your program, the process is maybe fault. So when you are having a program, you're preparing a process, you must ensure that the tracking of the program, resolution where there are issues, or especially risk and compliance issue, in terms of security and privacy in data protection. Data quality monitoring, if the quality of the data is not good, you're able to know how to cleanse the data. Okay, you want data to be complete, to be accurate, to be unique and different kind of in terms of data quality. You also need to have a process of data sharing. How do you share data? Now I want to share my data to Tony. I should be able to know, how do you want me to share it? Okay, if you are in a company, we have the accounting department, we have the engineering department, the HR department. If they want to share data, they also have policy process of doing that. Share it with the service that this is how you could share. So that has to be agreed. And then data lineage tracking, where does the data come from? Okay, the impact of the data, you have to carry out an analysis of the data impact to see whether has it impacted anyone or not. or the company? Is it positive or negative? Those processes are always going to be, going to be part of your program. And how you automate data quality testing. If the data you have, you actually look at that you have cleansed and put together, and then you automate the data yourself in order to run perfectly. And later you now decide to test it. Okay, testing is very important. Whether that's why you see people testing, do web testing, they do software testing as well. Why they're doing that is to know whether it can run smoothly and automatedly. So, and many others. Okay. We have data policy. Can we see what I'm sharing? Can everyone see what I'm sharing? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can see, sir.
Good, good. What can
Yeah.
okay,
Data
good.
policy.
Okay, thank you. So what I will do, if apart from Margaret and Tony not answering, I will be calling everybody's name because I want everyone that is here to see what I'm sharing.
Okay.
So this is data policy. Okay, data policy. Policy is very important in any program. It's actually a high level set of one or more statements that usually be made in order to set or state expectation and expected outcomes. That being said, it actually influences or directly data habits at an enterprise level. Is there any?
Is they mute already? I want to come on this speaker. I want to put that for earpiece.
Okay. All right. So you can mute yourself because I mute you already. So when you get that done, you can let me know that you're hearing me, Tony. So data governance program established data governance policy for data management. So this policy include outbound data sharing when you have already cleansed or processed data, regulatory adherence, and many others. They have a lot of policy that, and when we come to policy, because we're going to treat policy in itself in data governance and as part of the framework of data governance. So I would state a different kind of policy that you need to create or develop, and how to develop them as well. What are the criteria in developing policies? And what are the limitations that you may face? And what are how can you mitigate against those constraints will be, dealt with as we are going to be dealing with policies. Okay, so but it's part of the document, part of the components of data governance is data policies. So I want you to understand that. Very, very important. Is that understood? Hello.
Yes, sir, we are with you.
Thank you.
Yes, we can.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, right.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Yeah. Selassie. I'm supposed to be calling that name since. So now we have what is called data standards and data rules. The standard, please take note of this. This provides a wonderful framework and overarching approach for ensuring adherence to a data policy. So the standards, the policy cannot be strong if the standards are not inculcated in it. Very, very important. I want you to get this clear. So, and we have an example of data standard could be the use of ISO 31666, standard for the definition of codes for the names of countries. And we're also talking about dependent territories as well as special areas of geographical interest and their principal subdivisions. We also have different kinds of standard in terms of engineering And if you are working in construction company, we have Quench as well. We have a European standard for construction as well. We also have even in manufacturing, different kind of manufacturing companies. They also have different kind of standards. So when you are having a policy in terms of data program and you want to include data standards, make sure look at the updated one and you will use in doing a creating standard that will be drivers for your process in your data program. Okay. And when individual from standard, it could lead to non-compliance as well. So very important. Most standards are drawn as a result of data using during their operations. So we have data security. When we talk about data security, what do you think we're talking about? Well, anytime we may mention on data security, what do you think we're talking about?
I think it's all about securing your data, I suppose.
Yeah.
Keeping them safe from exposure to unauthorized persons or group of people.
Yeah, I love the word unauthorized person or group of person. In fact, I don't know if you can see my hand here that I'm clapping for you, Tony. Yeah, honestly, because I like the word when you use the right word for it. Because when you're going to be facing interview, you need the proper concept. You need the proper word that you will use in defining the concept you are asked to define. So, authorized or unauthorized. Okay, we're talking about security. Is that you're securing your data from unauthorized person to gain access to it. As data security is quite different from data privacy. When the time comes, you're going to know both of them. Okay, as we're going on. Okay, then we have communications. Now let me come back. Oh no, when we're going to deal with this component separately, data security and data protection, you will understand that. So let me come back to communication. Communication is actually really one of the components. It's really one of the components of, data governance. These include written, spoken, and electronic interaction with association audiences who have interest or need to know about the activities of data governance team. In fact, it is a plan that encompasses objectives and goals and tools for all communications. If you know this component in an interview is always coming, and should be part of the governance program from the early part of the programs, development. So can I ask, why the need for communication as part of the program? Selassie.
If there is no communication, information can be, corrupted, or information can be lacking, and you might not get the right, right results for whatever you are doing. Because if there is no communication, so many things will be, will not be, will go wrong, because the right word or the right information has not been given.
Thank you. I love that. Yeah, communication involves information. Okay, information passing. So if people are not well informed, they are deformed. And information is reformation. So no matter how fantastic your program process, strategy, standards, and policies are, if people are not well informed, they will wallow in the morals of ignorance and absolute illiteracy of what their expectation is and what they are expected to deliver as well. So communication there is no interview you go that they don't talk about the communication. In fact, they will just make it very open in a way. They are asking you communication question in a different form. They could tell you, say, okay, how will you be able to, how will you be able to, buy in, make people to buy into your program? That's a communication question. You're telling you, those who came for open day, you look at the program in ocean wise, okay? Someone who is like, for example, a case whereby you need to convince all the stakeholders, especially across the functional department of your program, because people will not want to identify themselves with the data governance program. They feel that what is in need for them. So now you need to communicate to them. Why does it matter? The poor management of data, what it will be the economic effect, what will be the brand effect, the image, all these things you need to communicate to them. So, and how can you now bring your team into bring your team into the program you're having? So it's about communication. So how will you do that? You will be doing what? Either written, spoken, having conferences, workshop, drawing them in at different intervals, depends on the hierarchy of who you need to bring on board and take a very substantial decision-making process as well. If it is the council, the data governance council, you need to create that will maybe comprising of data owner as well, and chief executive, and also different kind of council in terms of responsibility and management system. You need to communicate the same. And how interval do you do it? Depends on the level you want to do. Those who are handling data day to day, you must know how you communicate with them at different intervals, and comparable to the chief executive that is so high, hasn't got enough time to have a meeting with you. So that is very important. Keep people informed. Let them be a participant of the glorious program rather than be spectator of the same. So you need to understand that these communication questions always come in. How you bringing people into, when you face a problem, how will you be able to resolve it? It's talking about communication and your problem solving techniques. That's what they're trying to bring. So communication is very sound. Why I spend much time on this is that it's just always a direct question. They don't hide it. They feel like, this is your job. And how will you do it? They'll say, oh, forget about your CV. I want you to just tell me the initiative you are carrying out before or now. You got to communicate. You need to ask. You need to articulate what you have known in terms of experience, not only theoretical analysis. Just make sure you even convert the same to practical action. Articulate it before the potential employer, that to showcase yourself within a short space of time that you know what you're doing. It's about communication. The communication have to be sound. And how will you do that? Know how to use the right word for the concept you are expected to. Don't forget, most questions, the answer to them are in the question itself. So we're going to deal with, because by the next one, you're definitely going to be communicating right here. And it's so easy. And we're going to teach you, you're going to do it, you go home, you practice it, you're going to sell yourself as a data governance manager to somebody within 4 minutes. So tell me something about yourself. Forget about your CV. Let's talk about you now. So you'll be able to communicate the same, and I will tell you what to do. That's why I'm here. I said that's why I'm here.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
It's so easy. By the time you finish it, when you are talking, we don't know who is interviewing who anymore. Okay. Then we're talking about socialization. Basically, socialization, socializing a program such as data governance is essential, since it is a departure from the status quo. This new approach to properly governing enterprise data, that is organizational data, must be incorporated into each area of the organization. Very, very important. Especially when you have a program, you need to let every functional department to know what you're doing and make part of the culture. So that means you must let people know these are data, this how each of department data need to be to do. For example, if you are socializing data in terms of a format or classification of format, or if you are in a CRM platform like you know CRM. Somebody have idea of CRM here?
No.
CRM,
Please tell us.
CRM, Margaret, you want to talk?
No, I said please tell us.
Okay, CRM means customer relation management.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what it means. If you like working in M&S, or you're working with bank, or you're working with Premac, you know one place called Premac?
yeah.
Good. You're dealing with customers, and the domain which the domain is customer domain. Okay. Now your insurance, for example. Now you are collecting people's data, or you say, "Oh, hello, Margaret. How are you?" Okay, my name is no. You say, "I want insurance." Then you say, "Oh, all right. What's your name?" Then I will say, "My name is Sylvester. The surname Ojobo." Okay. So if your program of collecting people's data, say surname, middle name, first name, middle name, and surname, you're going to ask me of my middle name. Is that correct?
Yes.
Good.
Your
And
date of birth.
my date of birth. But not everything will require date of birth. It depends on data you are collecting, because you must tell us why you're collecting date of birth or where you're collecting other things. So I will tell you when the time comes, because if you're working in a company with engineering, like engineering department, or asking of national insurance of an engineer, it's not
Relevant.
it's not relevant. It's not relevant, because it's only a HRO and accounting department will be, payroll.
Well, can I just ask one question? Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes on the internet, you surfing things on the net, and they ask you for your name, address, postcode, date of birth. And it's like, why do you need all this information?
They will tell you, say they need it because they have a policy, they have a program, how they have to, collect their data. They want it that way.
Sometimes they want to identify your, they want to be sure of your identity.
That's correct, of course, but not everything you want to collect, because it might not be relevant. It might not be relevant, because sometimes when somebody asks me, I say, "What is the relevance of this aspect you are asking?" Because it is ethical that they must tell you why they are collecting a specific thing. But insurance company can't ask you what is your national insurance number.
No.
You see now?
Well, okay. Another thing I want to say, I'm not deviating. Sometimes.
No, I'm here. That's why I'm here, please.
Yeah. All right. Sometimes you get stopped by the police and they ask you, what is your ethnicity? Oh, you can see me, I'm a black man. What are you asking that for? So they want you to say it from your mouth.
No, why in that concept you can ask her, why are you asking? This I want to know. Tell me the relevance of you knowing it.
It can also be due to standard operational procedure.
Yeah, but the standard operational procedure will require backing, but that is not their standard, because like as Tony said, I don't think that is a standard of asking what origin you from.
Okay.
Police asking you, that's not a standard. To me, that's never a standard.
Okay.
So like as you said, anything they are called people collecting, this could be the standard. That's what we're talking about, because the standard will be socialized later.
Okay, talking about standard, who monitors standards?
You monitor standard. if it's also social, if it's a data governance, if you're a data governance, you are the one who need to monitor the standard. Because you are the one who actually really having the program. So you need to monitor it, otherwise, in the end, it might not create the value that's expected. Then you do evaluation.
Well, Pastor, he may be asking such that he's asking that who sets the standards?
Who said the standard is you that set the standard if it's a green field.
Okay, that's good.
No, I know where it's going. It's like, for example, talking about police now, who monitor the standard. That is for them. Unless you work in the police, so you can ask that question because police. I'm talking about if you work in banks, if you work this in as a data governance, you are the one who set the standard. If it's a green field, and if it's a brown field, if the standard is not robust enough to accommodate the complexity of issue you're dealing with, then you develop.
I think don't forget to the former question Mr. Tony asks can also come in the form of if you are filling a form where it will be stated and asked, are you British black? Are you black British? Are you yellow British? Are you green British? And all that stuff. Particularly when they know that when they see the name, that doesn't sound like an English name. And so
yeah, if you read their privacy policy, it will tell you what they're collecting those.
Exactly.
What do we do with those data? Very important. And they are collecting your data, please do ask questions. Why?
Okay, good to know.
Because they can collect your data even when their company get bust, another company will phone you. Why are they phoning you when you don't know about them? It's because you have seen their privacy. They say we are not going to be liable if we pass the information to a third party of ours. And you just know many people read the agreement. They don't read policy. They just agreed. Because even especially when it is written in very small, you need microscope and a telescope to read it. Because you need to couldn't verify, so agree, you just sign back. So the next thing you see why this is happening, but you have signed. Take your time to read policy. That's why you're here.
Well, we're not deviating from the program, but in terms of writing those little agreements in small print, why that? What are they trying to hide? Why small print?
Yeah, that's marketing strategy. It's just like you asking me why is it that, why they are putting lollipop sweet and all those things by the checker point. Because you are carrying children across that they're trying to pay for your goods or the products you bought. So that's another marketing strategy. So I think this matter came on board one time, whether in the parliament, trying to say things should be made bold for people to read. Very important. And even I think they are also debating strategy of putting those things, sweet things, very close to where the checkers point as well. So they get data that even when children are passing with their parents through the checkpoints, they pick all those things and parents pay for them. So that's a way they got those data. And that constituted children buying and being obesity. They want to cut obesity. They look at data and they discover that children who are getting those things, following their parents during shopping, and those things that they collect them right from the checker points. This is for data.
Interesting.
Very, very interesting. I can easily tell you also one thing. Have you been to Primark before or M&S?
Yes.
Okay. Now, if you see the big floor, Okay. If they divide the floor into 4 parts, three parts of the floor is women things.
Wow. One
quarter of it is divided into 2. In fact, divided into 4, three quarter of that, one part of that is children. Small aspect is for men. Why is it that 3/4 of the shop floor is for women?
Because they do more shopping.
So they spend more money, isn't it?
Yeah, they spend more.
Yeah. Whose money are they spending?
Spend their money, don't they?
Yeah, Margaret. So that's it.
Some spend the men's money.
So you see,
Majority spends the men's
so,
money.
yeah. So
Yeah.
what actually happens is that when they look at data, look at cameras, you enter a shop, they look at the faces of people coming in, they know a lot of women that men comes. And then two, they look at their statistics from the shelf, they discover that women clothes more than men. They don't care whose card or money is being used. They don't look at that. They just look how many clothes are out and how many of them are women or men. And if you look at it statistically, most women, they buy for children, they buy for their men too as well.
Yeah, that's true.
So women enter more. So now with those data, and statistically, they know for next summer or what they will need to put there, they need to put more of women design, more of women. So these are all data that goes in. And you see, and it will be socialized, also visualized as well. Okay? I don't know if somebody gets what I'm saying.
Yes, of course you did.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. So we have metrics. We have metrics. We have metrics. This is very important. Metrics. We
Key
have metrics.
performance indicators.
Okay. Now, have you heard the word KPI before?
Yeah,
Good. Do you know what it implies?
it's key point indicators.
Yeah. Key performance indicators.
Okay.
Key performance indicators. Every business has it. If you don't have it, then there's going to be quality problem. There's going to be really, really quality problem. They're going to have a best practice issue. So there will be differential that will exist between a best practice and management practice as a result of standard operating procedure, SOP. So in any operation, there must be best practice. And the indicators standard that you have put together are the one you use in monitoring and measuring your overall business progress in terms of impact. So establishing business metrics and KPI or monitoring and measuring overall business impact of data governance program is absolutely very, very indispensable for the program to have success. So these metrics and KPI are and must be measurable. So anything you cannot measure, you can't control. Anything you cannot control, it controls you. Do you believe in that, Tony?
Oh yes, I believe in
Yes.
that. There are so many examples.
Yeah. Do you know something called alcohol? Alcohol. Have you seen alcohol before?
No. What's that?
You don't know alcohol.
No.
Drink.
You don't know the drink called alcohol?
Yes, I know.
Okay.
Okay.
So do you know that they use pint or use glass to measure alcohol in a way? How many liters?
Yes.
Okay, so but by the time you take in, you just carry the bottle and put it in your mouth, finish it and go, and then you drive in, and then police stop you. They draw a line. You know a line, they will draw straight line that you should draw. Because you cannot control it, then what will happen? The thing will control you like this.
Yes.
Okay, so anything you cannot control, it controls you.
Wow.
Anything you cannot measure, you cannot control, you cannot manage. And anything you cannot manage, it manages you.
Yeah, sure.
Please take note of that. So to manage a program that you are putting together, you must put indicators down, standard that this must be followed. Okay? Amazingly, most people do have it. They do it every day, but they don't know. Have you managed at all? Have you been a manager? The way people are quiet here now.
Yeah, I mean, I think you manage your home, I suppose, you know.
Exactly.
In fact,
Manage your home.
Tony, in fact, let me clap for Tony right from here.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. When I lecture, I have a set of directors and managers.
Yes.
So they don't even know where I'm coming from, because when I say, have you ever managed before? They will be quiet, just quiet. One lady just say, yes. Then I say, where have you managed? He said, I manage my husband. Everybody started laughing.
Good.
Then I will ask them and say, if anyone can manage a husband, can manage a company.
Sure.
Yes.
That's it.
Who said yes there?
Yes, it's true. She's right.
Yes.
Who is the one that is right now?
I don't know, but she's right. Because you manage the money, you manage the life, you manage everything. Yeah, so yeah, she's right.
It is Margaret that say yes. So
Yes.
Celeste, you supported Margaret.
Yes, 100%.
I think it's true. It's true.
Is it not true, sir?
Well,
I say, is it not true, sir?
Absolutely. I mean, it's true.
It's very true. It's very true. They manage everything, even to the food, everything manage.
Yeah.
I love that. So the question is that have you ever managed before? You say yes. What do you manage? I'm expecting somebody to be here. Her name is Bridget. I don't know if Bridget is not here. I could erase anyway. If anybody can read Bridget, the person who brought Bridget in for open day. Anyway, so what I'm saying, in effect, is this: every human being, even as far as I'm concerned right now here, everybody that's here has become one way or the other have become a manager. So, it is ethical that there must be a standard. There must be a standard for the management. If you have children and you want your child to...
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
It seems somebody has a question, possibly Faye.
Okay, let me go there.
No, I don't have a question. I was just asking what was the question. So we talked about being a manager. Who do you manage, or have you managed before?
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from the US of Africa, Nigeria.
Oh, the capital of Africa. Yeah, okay. All right.
That's interesting.
Okay. Yeah, we were asking there, have anybody managed before? Tony set the pace by saying, yeah, I manage my home. So I gave a story of a lady who said, yeah, I've become a manager before because she knows how to manage her husband. It's very funny. Now, that is true. So, and if you have children and you want to manage them, manage their activities, if you say, when you come from school, or if they are going to school, what do you say to your children if they're going to school? I need an answer.
Well, I mean, for example, if you have children going to school, you can say, when you come from school, take off your uniform, change into your casual clothes, make sure you have your meals, and don't leave the door open, and don't play loud music, read your books, stuff like that. You tell them.
In fact, you must be a very good data manager. That's very good.
Thank you, sir. Optimistic.
If I grow up, I'll be like you. You tell your child to put the coat there, the shoe there, the uniform there, the bag there, wash your hands, go.
Which child listens to all that? No child listens to that. Huh?
No, they do. And when you're doing it, you have to be firm. Don't say it and you do not mean it, because the children are even they play with your psychology a lot. And if they look at you like somebody who does not mean it, they will do what they mean. You must be firm. And they want to see the firmness in you. But you that is saying it, you as a father, you come from outside, your shoe is one side, another one is one side, and one side. You cannot control such a child because they say, Dad, what about you? Okay, yeah. Or what they see, piece of paper everywhere, and then you begin to say, don't put your book everywhere. But you putting a piece of paper everywhere, it's not a good. It's called what is called moral standard. That is called moral, in fact, ethics, guiding, ethical principle, guiding your home. So you are creating a standard, and that standard must be measured.
Program along on now, whether what it is. The man is lecturing.
So it's very important that we get to have this standard. So you having a data program, data governance program, you must have metrics, you must have indicators in measuring the performance of the same. Very, very, very important. Okay? And people who will see you doing it, they will not emulate it. And those who will learn from you will also begin to see the importance of why you should be doing that as well. So have you heard, have you wake up in the morning? Have you wake up in the morning and say, and you pray and say, pray to God and say, as I have woken up today, please let me see problem. Have you seen that before?
No.
Okay. Have you ever also prayed that let problems see me?
No, unless they have psychiatric problems, man. I have seen that before. I've seen it with people with mental illness. They pray for bad things to happen to them, or they want to die.
So are we talking about problem as being bad? And we're going to define that. Okay. Now, if, for example, you after finishing the course and you want to apply for a job and they say the data governance manager needed, will you want to apply?
Yes.
Okay. What is the meaning of data governance?
Oh God.
What is the meaning of manager? Obviously, a manager needed somewhere. This time around with data governance, but say a manager needed. What is the meaning of a manager? What does a manager do?
As a problem solver.
Simple. Whether you pray for a problem to come and meet you, or you pray to see problem, you are going to be seeing problem every day.
Problem solver.
So for you to become a manager, you must be a problem solver. So you don't need to pray that let me see problem to solve. The problem is always going to be there for you to solve. Otherwise, if you don't see problem, there is no work. And is somebody agreeing to what I'm saying?
Yes.
At least. Yes. At last, Margaret approved. So you are
not really.
Are you always
not like Adi approach?
Okay.
But the question exactly, for this kind of.
It is how you look at it.
Yeah, it's just the way it looks. But either you like it or not, to be a data governance, definitely you are there for a purpose and to ensure the solution is available.
Thank you. Every day, whether you pray for problem to come or you to meet problem is always going to face you. So your ability to navigate yourself to resolve those problems will determine whether you are matured or a good manager. And this good management system require techniques. Those techniques, problem-solving techniques, is why we are here.
Wow.
So the more problem you solve, the more value you create. So if you ask the richest people on earth, they don't go for money. Money go for them.
Yes. Stop.
Yeah, I think somebody has agreed to that effect.
Yes.
I think it's a comfortable.
I do.
Thank you, Pastor. You have got my vision for Africa.
So, is it Facebook or Bookface? Is it up or east or westgram, westagram or Instagram? Or is it was up or upwards? So in all this, they did not go for money. They went for problems.
Yes.
Solution.
Yes, Pastor. God bless you.
Thank you.
Got it.
Thank you. When they create the solution to the problem, what they have actually created is profit margin, which is called value that people buy into. So now, what am I doing here? I'm solving a problem by service. Okay, once you guys are well acquainted and enter the profession, you're gonna be voraciously showing people the skill you are made of, and that will be a value people will need to buy. Increasing your salary, you need to negotiate it. No, I can't take £400 a day. No, I mean, I can take you 550. So, you go and check when you leave here, go and check her salary, daily rate of what you are learning. And you'll be very amazed. Why? Because we're here to solve problems. In a digital world that is ruled by data, of where you create 7.5 quadrillion bytes every day, and even about more than 2 years ago, 1.5 of the same has been created before now becomes secondary data. So, and it's being created every time as we speak, data are being created. So if we don't manage and don't govern them, then we may have a problem, especially compliance problem. So we have barrister here who can always, we also have, barrister, I can say it right now here. So as one of the people who will be taking, as a tutor. Okay, so there are legal aspects of this that you will be acquainted with and carry them out, in your work. Okay, very important. So establishing business metrics, which is a standard and indicator that you need to put in there to measure and monitor the overall business impact with respect to your program, data program, is very, very imperative. So you must use the KPI metrics to measure and track over time consistently. It's not just once at a time. Measure the same year in and year out to know the impact, especially when you have identified the gap and you have set a target. So many organizations make the mistake of not taking a baseline measurement and then after years trying to go back and measure their data governance program success. No, that's from the one you set in your program, your strategic program, you must create metrics. Very important in order to have a measurement, accurate measurement in terms of success.
Sorry, sir. Can that be seen as the evaluation standard?
Well, the standard is standard, but that is the standard you use in evaluating. So let me explain. Who asked the question? Salasi.
Yes, sir.
Salasi. You gave me another name that time. What's the other name? Abe.
Abe.
I remember. I thought, yeah, Abe. Salasi. Now, let me explain evaluation. Okay. Now, before evaluation, there's standards. Standards and criteria are the precursor or the platform, the gateway for evaluation process. So you can't evaluate when there are no standards. So before evaluation, you must have tested your standards, have the endpoint, the aftermath, the outcomes, the outbound, the marginal value you created, whether it meets expectation or exceed the same or below. So whichever may be the case, you also need to evaluate. For example, I have Margaret and I have Selassie. And I will give both of you £50 to create, to bake cake. Do you know cake?
Yes, sir.
Good, thank you. Margaret, ready? Because I'm going to ask questions right now. So now,
yes.
Thank you, Margaret. Now, you are going to bake a cake, and Selassie gonna bake a cake. I give both of you 50 pounds. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Our expectation would be that you make a profit of another 50 pounds. That means will be 100 pounds, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
To sell the cake. Okay. One of you sold the cake 100 pounds, another one sold the cake 70 pounds. Who would that be? Who would that be? Who said 100 pounds? Who sold 70 pounds?
I sold 100.
Daddy, you see somebody?
That's good.
Okay, now you have to remit to me.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you expect me to say to you people?
Well done.
Well done, Selassie. Then what do you expect me to say to Margaret?
Margaret, what happened?
What?
No, Margaret, what went wrong? Why? Or why Selassie sold more than you? Or, you like to find out why Margaret's own it was.
Okay, can you help Margaret, because she's gonna phone a friend now. Are you the friend? Can you tell us why Margaret sold 70 pounds?
Well, maybe Margaret couldn't strategize the sweetness or the softness of the cake. You see? And
Tony, are you listening?
I'm listening. I'm listening to the lady.
And maybe as well couldn't, advertise, most at times business, it's also how you are able to convince the people to buy, you see. So maybe Margaret was not eloquent like Celeste. So that was the difference.
Do you agree, Margaret?
Perhaps the atmosphere or the environment or the people, being presented the cake, determines it. And, the need for it. Some people, possibly it depends on even the nature of the cake. If you want to sell a cake to people that are diabetic and your cake is like having, sugar content, which is not going to be helpful, it's not likely to be sold as you would have expected it to be. So the environment, the atmosphere, even irrespective of how you presented it.
Can I say something?
So it depends on the consumer.
Okay. Tony, how is yours, Tony?
Well, I mean, they both have standards, but just the Selassie standard is higher. Sure.
Good.
So
Good.
So there are standards and there are standards.
This is what I want to hear. This is what I want to hear. They are talking about commercial. They are talking about this, and they are also very, very right. They are right. This thing is subjective. Okay? But the objectivity of it is what you just said to me, standards, minimum standard, the best practice. Now, that comes, let me just use opportunity to define best practice for you. Best practice is the most acceptable practice that is superior and that have also produced the most superior result ever experienced than every other alternatives available. That also including update. Okay? Now, what I'm saying in effect is that if we are going to, two of them are giving specific cake to produce, the cake must be spongy and eggless, or let it contain egg. Can I ask one simple question? So, Selassie, if you have to buy, if you want to produce cake, what is the first thing you need to do?
You have to assess how much you're gonna use for the cake, or they've given you money. Then you have to sit down and plan
Okay, and that plan is called what?
Strategy.
Maybe.
You want to phone a friend?
Yes, I can phone a friend. Maybe.
Okay, Margaret.
Possibly, you first know what kind of cake are you expected to make? Is it a carrot cake? Is it this or just a Victoria cake or whatever kind of? You have to know exactly.
If the cake is specified to you.
It has to be specified.
Yeah,
and then that will determine
already.
The ingredients you are going to get.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, so let's talk about plan. What plan is that? Do you want to phone a friend?
I think the plan is about how to make a cake.
The plan how many people you want to
plan? What plan is that?
The plan, you plan how to make a cake.
What plan is that? What's the plan called?
Strategy.
Thank you. That's what I want to hear. You see, I'm only telling you how, as a manager, we'll be talking. Strategic plan. Okay?
Long-term plan and short-term plan.
Yeah. Now, we are talking about that now. Okay?
Strategize.
Yeah. You have strategic plan. Okay. Now, the strategy, we have standard, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so now you want to go and purchase the ingredient. Give me instruction if you want to give. Margaret, please give Celeste instruction of the ingredient. Can you tell Margaret? Can you tell Margaret? Can you tell Celeste? Give instruction of the ingredient you want to buy. Margaret?
I think it has to be specification of the components.
Are you talking about you think or you know?
No, I said you are going to be talking about the components of the cake.
Okay, so give instruction on the components now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, that the instruction will be about what exactly I want the cake.
Okay, well, if you want, we are all of us say we are under construction because I don't know how to do cake. So you may have to also educate me. What are the ingredients you want Celeste to buy? Can you give her instruction?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, like I mentioned, for any cake specifically, you have to know the kind of cake you want.
Okay, just tell
and that particular cake, let's just say a simple Victoria cake.
Okay.
And it's just going to be the one, well, it's not going to be diabetic, it's going to be the one general, everybody. So you have to know to buy your flour.
Okay,
the kind of flour you have to use.
Give instruction to Celeste.
Okay, but I will tell her buy the ingredients. This is the money available.
Okay.
And this is the size of the cake we wanted. Okay. And this is the color we wanted.
Okay.
And this design.
Okay. So what are the ingredients?
Buy egg, buy flour, buy this.
Exactly. Egg, flour, sugar, flavor, colors.
Yeah.
And shape.
Thank you, Margaret. Celeste,
yes, sir.
Give instruction to Margaret.
Okay. Well, Sister Margaret, I have 50 pounds, and I would like you to make a cake for my 10 staffs, because it's their birthday and some are diabetic. So
I just be specified like the one she said, Victoria, on generally.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, so
okay. I just
about the ingredient.
Want you to make a birthday cake for 10 of my staffs. Some don't like they are allergic to maybe
just like
gluten.
There's no allergy, just like Victoria, everyone can
eat. Okay, all right then.
Ingredient.
So Sister Grace, Sister Margaret, I would love you to. I've got only 50 pounds, and I would love you to make a cake for my 10 staffs whose birthday has fallen on the same day. And just put your best, because this is like
So what are the things
something.
you want? What are the things you want her to buy?
Well, she is a professional,
No,
so
you need to give instruction, and she knows that we know that. Okay, assume that she's not a professional, so just tell her to buy something for you. You are the professional, so she will go to market and buy something. What do you want?
okay. So I would love you to go to the market and buy me the flour, the spices, the sugar, and the well. We might not like some icing on it, so you don't need to buy icing. But and also buy some decorative bands and trays that will make it so attractive.
Okay.
Okay, Tony, did you see any? Tony, did you see something that has anybody see anything that I need to pick up with these two?
They haven't given specific measurements. So when you say buy flour, it's 10 sacks of flour.
Thank you.
Cans of milk, or half a pint of milk.
Thank you.
And talking of icing, is she buying the sack of icing or buying just a little bit of icing?
Thank you.
So no specific measurements.
Thank you.
Well, sir, I hold my hands up. I'm a woman, but I don't do cake. And honestly, when it comes to bakery, I don't know anything about that.
We are all.
I've never.
Can I tell you something? Listen, you actually tried Margaret.
So I hold my hands up, ladies. I don't know.
Let me tell
you. Tell me to make both fruit for you, I wouldn't know how to do it.
Okay, so let's see. Tony, when you want to speak as well.
Well, I mean, I don't even know it's very difficult to make a cake. For me, I don't know how to make a cake. But regarding the point we are trying to argue, if someone says to you, give an instruction, you can say, go to the market. I want to make a cake. The cake should be ready by 6 o'clock today. That's the time expectation. And going to be chocolate cake, buy chocolate, 10 grams of sugar, 5 teaspoons of that, blah, blah. You give the exact thing of what you want so that the cake will taste as you want it.
That's it.
And you give
but you don't know how to do it. So how can you be giving instruction for the person to do it as one?
I might be reading from the book or somewhere, but at least we are making a cake. I want when the cake should be ready, and I want you to do it that time. And I'll give you the instruction. I could print it from the internet. You are the cake expert. Do the cake for me.
Can I just say something? Yes. So if you were giving me money to buy a cake, and I ask you the right questions about what kind of cake, is a sponge, Victoria, or chocolate, or whatever, the next thing I'll do is what size of cake do you want?
Yes.
So when you tell me the size of cake you want, I will say, how many steps do you want? I know that we have a chief baker on the platform who could probably help us more. So you would say, the person would ask you to be a bit more specific, right? You want icing. Do you want blue, yellow, white?
That's the word I want to hear. Specific.
The expert baker will ask you all those questions. Is it for a young person? Is it for an old person? Do you want Mickey Mouse on the cake, or do you want the picture of the Bible? So the person who's going to be buying those things will be asking those specific questions to you in order to get more data, more information from you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You all have spoken very, very, very well. It doesn't matter whether you know how to do or you don't know how to do. The point I'm trying to bring, it is measurement and metrics. Now, what is the difference between Selassie and Margaret in terms of sales? Margaret got 17 pounds, sold for 70 pounds. There are so many reasons. Selassie had a meet expectation. There are so many reasons. Okay, the same amount, the same quantity. Now, here it is. A good manager measures, have standards. Okay, and if you have a cake manufacturing industry, I'm just bringing the issue of metrics, and because this is very, very important in data governance. You can prepare everything, but if you can't measure it, you don't know your success, whether the program is doing well or not. Now, you have to customize using automation system. If it is the cake for eggless cake, there's a system. If chocolate cake, there's a system. That every ingredient has already been customized within the system. All the data are fixed. If it is also quantity, also size of cake, this is how many grams of sugar going in. You see what I'm saying? So a good manager managing the data, we know the standard and we know the criteria to follow. For example, now why I said we should give instruction is because to look at why is it that one has to sell for 70 pounds, 100 pounds. We're talking about evaluation because the standards would be the yardstick in evaluating why someone hasn't made the expectation, why someone actually made the expectation, even beyond the expectation. This is it. We're talking about, Margaret said, whether people don't sugar, they don't eat sugar, they don't this, maybe diabetes or whatever. So with that, put it like everybody eats everything. I mean the cake. Now, when Margaret is sending Selassie to go to market and buy ingredient, number one, she mentioned flour. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. That flour, she did not specify the flour, whether it's brown flour or white flour. Number two, sugar. She did not specify, even you, Selassie, you did not specify whether it's brown sugar or white sugar. So specification depends on standard set. So now, when you talk about eggs, do we use egg in doing cake?
Not all.
Not all. I'm not talking about eggless cake, but do we use egg in cake?
Sure.
Good.
Some cakes.
And if you say you should buy egg, which egg? If you don't
Free
specify,
range.
if you don't specify it's free range, the person can go and buy you mosquito egg. If you're using oil, for example, if you don't specify the oil, you will go and buy you diesel oil from petrol station. So when you bake the cake, it will not be palatable, comparable to someone who has followed standard specification.
Okay.
You understand what I mean? Always remember, in every problem-solving techniques, you need to be specified following a standard.
Okay.
And if you don't follow standard, it will be shown at the end. It will be shown at the end. How did we get to this place? You have to do what is called evaluation, because you asked a question last time about evaluation. Is it evaluating standard? You have to look, and you have to do evaluation based on the standard you have set. So there is always standard before evaluation. Evaluation comes as the outcome, performance. If the performer does not meet up expectation, you must evaluate. Even if you meet expectation or exceed, you need to also evaluate how come 50 pounds have produced 120 pounds instead of 100 pounds I expected. You need to do this data, put it where the person will tell you, say, well, you know what? I did my work, I didn't waste too much electricity, and this and that. All these things have to be computed. It becomes the data, you create this data to help you maximize, in fact, your profit and minimize cost. That's optimization process. So these are just few things you think about data. People who are making money in this world, it's not because they are clever than you. You are also clever. But the use of certain things that we need to know, it matters a lot. So I spend time on these metrics for a reason, because no matter how powerful it's your program and how successful you're running it, if it's not measured, how will you know the value, the profit margin you have created that people would need to buy into? That's what matters. And that is why you see those people, billionaires today, that solving problem, they are always evaluating their system. The next thing we say, update software, update this. Why are they updating? They want to be there. High ends. They just want to be there. In fact, they just want to tell you that they care as well. So you just have, this is management of data. You'll be very surprised. What did you tell Facebook to tell you that the picture you post for 2 years ago, 3 years ago, that you need it, but they will send it to you? It's only you are seeing it. How do you know? They are trying to tell you they care for you. But are they really caring for you? Are they your album? Because they creating it, as soon as you click the post, bam, they make more money out of your data. What did they do? Do you pay to join Facebook? No, because they use your data to make money. There is a phone number I no more use, but Facebook told me that you don't use that phone. How? Well, everybody's so quiet.
Yeah, don't be listening.
Maybe you never experienced something like that. Any conversation you are making, the next thing that will appear on your email or advertisement that will scroll in is relating to what you have said in most cases.
Yeah, that's surprising actually.
It's the data. It's data.
So
that's why they're making money. Somebody who can successfully pay 2.8 billion when he's fine, when the company is fine, no problem. When was up? Was it Facebook or was up? They said they are doing repair for how many hours? They lost billions of dollars. How? How? So is what we need to know. As we begin to go on, you begin to see a lot of things. Is that clear in terms of measurement and metrics? Hello?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
As component, because I will soon close. So what about technology? The data governance program will need various technology to be as automated as possible. If your program is so strong and powerful, you want to make it automated so that it will give you less stress. As there is any situation, it will pick it up and you log it in and make sure you rectify it. Smaller data governance program will typically use the technological stack, which they already have within their enterprise. Larger data governance initiatives, we purchase software that is specific to data governance and the functions of the organization require. So data governance software simplifies the process of scanning database and files to capture needed metadata. Okay, metadata, it's big data coming together, different kind of data. The management of the metadata, automating the data stewardship workflows, how does it flow? And also decision trees, social voting, okay, collaboration, and many other data governance and stewardship functions. Whenever you hear this word collaboration, it's talking about communication as well, as a team, team working. So when they ask you a lot of the collaboration question, they indirectly asking you about how you're able to communicate with team while you're resolving issues or discussing or trying to carry an initiative. Always remember collaboration. How do you collaborate with your chief executive, other stakeholders, and you do it by communication, workshops, and every other thing. So, do we understand that?
Yes, for now.
Good, for now, good. This is data analytics. So for today, we have taught data governance components. The component of data, we have the people who are the primer, the fundamental people, strategy as a plan, process as everything and the program you put in place have to have a process and policies enshrined that indicates how the process will run. There must be standards which we also use in terms of having a best practice to measure whatever we need to measure. Then you secure your program, you socialize it to every functional department, you communicate the same thing, and also use metrics to measure what you have put together, whether it's successful or not. If not, you do evaluation, and then you can automate the system, whether small enterprise or bigger one, depends on the technology you have in doing the same. So the circle is round around, and which is what we have done today. Make sure anyone who needs the literature, I will send. Make sure you send me tests. Make sure you send me tests of your email, and through your WhatsApp, send it to me, and you will receive it. If you don't receive it by tomorrow, make sure you give me a call. Is that okay?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that being said,
Yes,
any question? Okay, do you enjoy yourself today?
Yes. Was
Did
a good time.
Did you learn
Yes.
something? Did you learn something today?
Yes, plenty of things, very new things. A lot of new things.
Eh?
New things, new, many.
New thing, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
Okay, so are you saying somebody should speak for you when you say yes, sir?
Strategy.
So
No.
if you have learned something today, please do not hesitate. As you are sending your number across to me, I will also want you to send a review. A review is very important of today's lesson, and that helps me a lot as well. You know, in a training like this, two people are the people learning, the trainer and the training. We are all under construction. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I know Tony has sent something to me. Doesn't waste time when he sends something. Yeah. So, all right. Is any person want to say anything today?
Thank you.
Thank you, Margaret. A very good.
Thank you, sir.
Then Salasi, these two people, they bake very good cake. Yeah. Any other person?
So the next course is next Saturday, okay?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.